Hey, church family. I found a familiar face roaming around the halls, probably feeling about as lost in here as I am. We thought it would be good if we took a minute to sit down and talk about how Ray and his family are processing and thinking through life in this season, how they're dealing with the different challenges that it is proposing to them, and hopefully you'll find it encouraging for your own new normal that you're working through. So, Ray, how are the Goodletts processing life in the midst of the corona crisis?
Do you want the truth? So we're probably just like the rest of you. I mean, we have good moments and we have not so good moments. That's how I'll describe it. I don't want to call them bad moments, but we I think fortunately more good than bad. But there are times where I told these guys here, fellow pastors, that one morning, I think it was Monday, I lost it with my kids, just didn't have the patience I needed early in the morning, and had to go through a lot of repentance there and asking for them to forgive me. And I'm pretty sure some of you have moments like that as well, but God's gotten us through those moments. On the better side, it's been neat. You know, my wife Heather has been very helpful in terms of helping us put together a schedule for our days. Just what are we going to do with our time at different parts of the day? And that structure has been helpful for us as parents. It's been helpful for the kids. And so, I mean, there's a lot of good about it as well.
How are you helping your girls process the changes in their own world? Just at each age, I mean, they're all different ages, like mine, and they can each handle different amounts of understanding, but no school, not able to go and run errands or go to places that they used to. But what's that been like for them at home, and how have you been trying to help them understand all that?
That's a great question. Yeah, we try to, at the very least, protect them from any fear that's excessive. You know, we don't want them to be controlled by or bound by fear in a time like this, even as we obviously exercise caution. And then also we want them to be thinking outward and thinking about others and what compassion for others looks like at this time. So part of what we've built into our day, that schedule that I mentioned, is in the mid-afternoon we have some time between 2:30 and 3:30 where we're thinking about who we can call, who we can email or text, who we might be able to video conference, things like that, just so that we're in touch with others. Maybe getting out just in the neighborhood, staying 6 feet away, but seeing a neighbor's face and asking how they're doing.
I think we stayed 6 feet away here.
I think so. We're good.
I don't think you guys have to worry about that. But one of the things I most appreciate about you, the way that God has wired you, the passions that He's put inside of you, is you lead us in how we think about caring well for those in the church going through different crises in life. You lead and oversee our benevolence team and our work of trying to care for people well. And we're entering into this phase where the weight of the corona crises is starting to impact not just what we can do every day, but people's well-being and their livelihoods. And so what are we doing as an organization, and how well prepared are we for being able to care well for the church during this season?
No, that's a great question. The good news is I think we're very well prepared. And again, I'm sort of the figurehead, as Robert was saying, for a lot of that we do with benevolence, and certainly help to get a lot of that going. But really, the most of the work of that's being done by an incredible team that we have, a benevolence team headed up by deacons of benevolence. And I mean, the people on that team are just fantastic. What they do in helping to identify and meet needs out there in the community and within our church is just incredible. We also have a number of former team members who served for a time and are no longer on the team currently. But in terms of our response to the crisis here, one of the best things and most encouraging things is we've reached out to some of those former team members and have asked them to be on call during this time, and many of them have agreed to be able to do that. And so in many ways, our readiness in terms of the people who are ready to respond immediately to the emerging needs is better than it's ever been. We're also seeing some good readiness. We've got a good head start on just having the funds available to begin to help bring some relief to those who have the most urgent needs due to this coronavirus situation. So there's more that we want to do there. We've got some in place. We also have a plan to double our readiness in terms of benevolence funds and potentially triple our readiness depending upon how we respond as a church.
How in the world are we going to do that? Like what's the plan for something like that to be able to happen in the midst of this?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, that plan is multi-layered, and it involves some things that we can do immediately in the short term, and it also helps us to prepare for things as the present situation stretches into the next few months. And so we're looking at a number of those things and putting some of those longer term things in place as we speak. But in terms of the short term and right now, what we would want everyone to consider is what we're calling our one-day offering. And by one-day offering, what we're talking about there is calculating what would be an amount that is equivalent to 1 day of your annual household income. So if you're salaried, looking at that income, or if you have seasonal income throughout the year, giving your best estimate of what 1 year of your annual household income would be. Just dividing that by 365 and coming up with a figure that would represent your one-day offering. If all of us who are willing and able could give that one-day offering to the benevolence fund, by our calculations and estimates, it would immediately double our readiness in terms of funds to help those among us with the most urgent needs.
Yeah, that's amazing to think about, actually.
It is.
That we can do something like that and be able to double our current readiness to be able to help people going through this. And it's our desire. I know that you've shared it with us. I know it's the desire in the heart of all the pastors and elders. We want to be ready to be able to help people through this crisis in very practical ways.
Yep.
We want to be able to help people in anchoring their hearts in Jesus, but as we see as we're going through the Gospels, that doesn't negate the practical needs as well.
That's right.
And so we're just as much for helping people in their well-being physically going through this as we are spiritually as well. So
That's right.
And thanks. I'll let you go back and wander through the halls. Love you guys, and we'll see you again this weekend when we gather together on Sunday.
Grace be with you all.